Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 487. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Hey.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 487. 13 more. Well, actually 12 more until we get to 500. Yeah, so, wow, we got a lot of news to talk about today. We don't really have a topic tonight, but it's been a long week. It's been a long day. So this coronavirus stuff, guys, it's not even like out of control, and it's just like it's running my life right now.
Yeah. Definitely all over the headlines and crashing.
It is. I mean, we've lost a lot of gaming conventions. South by Southwest got canceled. Which is huge. I mean, that's like $600+ million of revenue for that city, like just that city. It's crazy for that week.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You can't spell pandemic without panic.
Yeah. No. Well, I need to plan for the worst and hope for the best kind of thing. So that's what I'm unfortunately doing right now. But it's been crazy. So, God, what have we been up to, guys? Watching stuff? Watching good stuff. I've been watching. I don't know what I've been watching. I'm trying to think of what I've had on. I've gone back to like when I'm in like brainstorming mode for this stuff. Like when I'm trying to come up with answers, The Office is my go-to. Like I don't know what it is. Like I go back. I'm watching season 3 again of The Office. I actually watched all of season 2. Mm-hmm. Season 2 is so good, and so is season 3. But season 2 is like the best. I think that's the
next level.
Yeah, I think season 2 is my favorite season of the show, and I think it helps that I'm listening to the Office ladies as well because they're breaking down the episodes through season 2,
right.
And they've got some of the actors coming on the show. They have the show creator, the American version, come on the show, and it's so awesome to hear those interviews. And then like they cover an episode, so I'm like, I gotta watch this episode tonight because they just covered it. I want to see what they were talking about, and like they identify when the actor's gonna break in the scene because they remember it. And so, like, you go back to the scene, you can almost see these guys almost breaking on camera now. So that you didn't miss when you were watching it on live TV. Well, not live TV, obviously, but you know what I mean. When you're watching it actually when it came out. So yeah, I've been watching that, and I didn't get to watch Castlevania yet, and that's what I was just talking about before the podcast. I have to watch this because my subscription ends in 3 days, and I have to watch it. So I'm watching it, but it's happening. I have a crazy day tomorrow, but I'm hoping that tomorrow night I get to watch a few episodes of it because Tony, you've watched this. I mean, how is it?
Yeah, I mean, it was really good. Not sure if it hits the highs of season 2, but right. I mean, it's still okay. It depends on what you're looking for and stuff like that. It definitely tries for a different structure to the show and stuff like that. So that's fine and all. Again, I don't think anybody's going to be like super disappointed, but are they maybe some people.
Are they doing it now like they know they're getting more longevity out of the show? Is that what they're doing?
I think that's what it is because I mean, honestly, season 2 was a great way to wrap it up and just kind of move on to another generation of Belmont, because that's really what the series is all about, is like the generation of just Belmonts just fighting Dracula and shit like that. But it's like, oh no, you know what? Whatever. And in a way, not to ruin it, but like I can see some people viewing this as like a filler season, because it's a lot of setup for what I imagine is going to be season 4 and stuff like that. But I mean, the animation is awesome. The actors and actresses just really love their roles. You just tell by the way they ham it up during certain scenes and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, I mean, some of my favorite scenes were actually just talking sequences between 2 characters where it's just like, interesting. They're like kind of getting to like pseudo philosophy here and stuff like that. So it was really cool. The violence was turned up a notch, and just a forewarning, if you're watching with anyone, kids, there's gratuitous nudity in this season. Like straight up gratuitous.
This was never really a kids show.
Well, no, right. No, but I mean, the first 2 seasons had none of this, and then all of a sudden I was like,
bloody.
I was just like, that was a titty. Like, that was a titty with a nipple. I was like, damn, I felt like this is like Super Bowl, with Janet Jackson all over again. And it wasn't just like one scene. It was like all this. I was like, holy crap. Like, there's even some dongle, going on there too. And I was like, interesting. I was like, I guess they, really were asked to be like, hey, let's make this, super adult, Game of Thrones-esque. But anyway, yeah, it was really good. I would highly recommend it, obviously.
Cool. That's yeah, I gotta check that out. I'm trying to think what else I watched really. I mean, it was The World According to Jeff Goldblum on Disney Plus. I'm getting more of those. Those are great. Like you can do which I didn't get to the game. I'm on the gaming one now. I finally got to the gaming episode, which is supposed to be really good. But I went through like denim. He goes through denim, tattoos, ice cream. It's unbelievable. And he's such a weird guy, but it like just works. This kind of show just works for him. I'm really enjoying that on Disney Plus. So that was really good. But yeah. Anything else, Tony, for you?
I'm sure there was something. Let me think about it real quick.
Yeah, I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I'm just like trying to think as well. I know I watched more Picard, which I really that show is excellent. Like it's such a cool follow-up to where you would expect the character to go to. I almost because of how they finished the Next Generation and where they're doing with the show. It's like it's so cool to see this actually kind of really fill it in and they aged Patrick Stewart, which was not hard to do. They aged Patrick Stewart in Next Generation, and like it was so spot on to what he does now. I mean, they gave him a beard in Next Generation in the finale when he was supposed to be older, but he looks so much like he did back then. It's unbelievable. So I watched that, but that's pretty much it for me. I queued up Altered Carbon. I saw came out, but I didn't get to watch that yet. And Mewtwo Strikes Back, I saw the beginning of that, but I didn't get to finish that yet, so I can't really say much about it. But it's interesting that they redid this on Netflix.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, did you see it? Did anybody see this? The original Pokemon? It's the original.
Yeah.
It's the original Pokemon movie. They completely redid on Netflix. I was actually hoping it was going to be HDR. It's not. I was like, oh, it could be HDR, but it's not. It's really awesome CG animation, which is really weird to watch that with Pokemon. But although we did see Pikachu, Detective Pikachu, but still, this is different. So, Corey, what have you been watching?
I finally got a chance to watch Lock and Key a little bit.
Good.
So
Okay.
There's 10 episodes of that. I'm in 6, I think, right now. I like it. It is very different from the comic book.
Really?
And I've talked about how the Umbrella Academy did a great job of turning a okay comic book into a very good TV show by making the storyline fit television and improving it in a way.
Yeah.
Lock and Key, I think they're trying to do the same thing here, but maybe it's just more dear to my heart, I guess. Maybe Lock and Key, but I don't know if I like the changes as much yet. We'll see how it wraps up and what they do and where it ends and everything and that. But I do like episodes. I'm trying to separate, the comic from the show because I think the show is very cool and interesting. And if you don't know, it's about this family who have a major tragedy in their lives and have to move to Key House in Boston. In Massachusetts. One of the characters goes to Boston, I think, but Massachusetts, and the house has all these magical keys, and they open up these doors to either certain abilities or certain things that you can do, and so it's really interesting a take on magic, and a little bit of a thriller horror-esque aspect to it because it's it's Stephen King's son who actually wrote this stuff. Joe Hill, I think is what his writing name is. But
okay.
It's really good show. I'm still thinking about it though. Like I don't know. We'll have to see how it all wraps up, but episode to episode is good, and I'm definitely excited to see the next one and all that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
I've mostly been just listening / watching more Netflix comedy specials.
Okay.
Tried a few people I thought I wasn't gonna like, and I was right about Pete Davidson. He's not.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say some of it was mildly funny. That's what I'll say.
He seems like a good supporting person, but I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. And then John Mulaney I actually tried, and he was
Okay.
better than I thought because, on the surface I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be annoying, but
Full
I
old
actually-
Pam.
yeah, I liked him a little more than I thought I would, so he was all right, and we'll see.
He's
who
very.
else.
Is he like kind of like theatrical a little bit?
No, not really.
Like on his SNL thing, he was doing like shows tunes all over the place.
Yeah, no. He's really. It's just.
I mean, he always
personal stuff.
sounds like, Peter Porker or whatever. Like,
Yeah, a little bit. No, he goes into that. He goes into what people think he is on first glance, even though he's not. Fun stuff like that. So
Yeah.
he's a funny guy. Better than I thought. But other than that, nothing really new of substance.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. I've been also listening to a couple. I saw Buddha over the weekend. He was, he listened to your Stormlight archives. He's like loves that series. Yeah. I told him I would tell you this. I knew that would I just saw you like brighten up. You're like, oh my god.
I mean, I've been
it's great.
trying to get everybody. That's all. Tony's listening to it.
Yep.
I know. And I know, yeah, I think you talked to Tony about it, but like, listen, I'm not 100% blaming this for this, Corey, but I was moving through that book, and then you made me halt to go back. You said I had to go back to listen to the story of the character from that series that was in the other book. And since then, I have not.
Oh.
I have not gotten back.
You're an Oathbringer right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's third book. Is that Oathbringer?
Yes.
Okay. The fourth book's not out yet.
No, it's coming out in November.
Yeah. So, I mean, I looked it up. I have kept tabs on the series because I do like it, but I just don't think I'm gonna read that story that you told me about. I might just finish the book, but the problem is now it's been so long that I think I have to restart the book.
I mean, that's fine. I've went through it a few times already, all of them.
So, but I think that I'll finish this book and then I'll
have to talk to Buddha about that.
Yeah.
He's got through all of them.
Yeah, he's done. He didn't go back and listen to that story though. He didn't know. I didn't know which one it was. You probably had to tell him about that.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, all right. Let's get into the box office then. Before we get into the news here, let me get it opened. Jeez, wasn't a great box office. I mean, 40 million for Onward is very low for a Pixar movie. I just think that this one didn't have a lot of hype, right? I mean, obviously we have a virus scare going on in this and everywhere right now. I get that, but that's going to hurt it internationally.
Global, yeah.
It's not going to really hurt it domestically at this moment because it's not really.
I wouldn't agree with that. I think a lot more people are very cautious. I mean, you cannot get hand sanitizer anywhere.
Or toilet paper.
Or toilet paper.
Why? I don't know.
And you have limits on how much bottled water you can buy. It's like pretty ridiculous.
Can I ask you guys something? Why is it, and somebody, whoever wants to answer me this, please, I'd like an answer. When you have the option to go out and be clean and sanitary, like you want to be sanitary and you have this option to go to the store finally and buy something that's going to make you be healthy, why is it you're buying hand sanitizer and not fucking soap?
Because
you
hand
can take that around everywhere.
Need water to wash it off.
Yeah. It's less of a process.
But they have plenty of soap on the shelves.
Yeah, but you can't walk like out on the street with like just soap in your pocket and just be like soap, and then you're fucked. Then you have soap, you need some water.
Okay, I guess that makes sense to me. I was just like, I know that this is like
American way, man.
It's a lazier thing. It's easier. I mean, it is more portable.
It's less effective.
But the thing is, for most
Less
people,
effective.
like unless you're going out a lot, you don't really need that much. Like
No.
the bottle's gonna last you for.
I mean,
fucking-
I think I've had this.
It's like
Oh,
censored.
sorry,
That's funny.
That is weird. That censored it. That censored it, Corey.
Because it's not his face.
Yeah. That's it's just I couldn't figure that out. There it is. Yeah. It does censor. That's crazy. All right. Thank you, Skype. Yeah. So
I feel like I could just like start charging people $5 a squirt or something. Like
you could be that guy on the side of the street, just like sanitizer, yeah, and like do a tip jar.
Dark place here.
Yeah.
Tip jar, and you could do that. We could do that.
Wow, there's
Forget,
a
like-
spider crawling on my keyboard right now.
Wow. Yeah, I'd be out of there. I'm sorry. The podcast would stop for a second.
shit.
I had to take
Got away.
Trying to hand sanitizer.
Yeah. So, anyways, Onward did 40 million. Bad opening for it. A lot of movies are talking about delaying.
Yeah,
or,
I think this would have been maybe 20 million more if it was a normal time, though. I don't think this would have been like huge either way.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I think we were talking about 65 million, Corey and I, last podcast. It just didn't have the hype behind it. And, I think I'm not saying it's not good. It's actually getting very good reviews. It's just that it just didn't have the hype. And I guess the kids just aren't as interested in this one. And that's what brings your money in.
This is why people don't like new IPs, because this is a new one and everyone's just like, I don't know what this is. I don't want to see it. That's
yeah. So they almost have to take their lumps with this one and then bring out the sequel.
Maybe that might, if enough.
I think it also is like how sellable are the toys. Like I'm not seeing any toys anywhere.
No, merchandising's bad for this one. Yeah, I mean,
so
they also didn't. Yeah, they probably didn't put the full force behind the marketing in this one, but
yeah,
whatever.
No, they didn't. I mean, but I think they knew like at some point you're like, okay, this is gonna hurt us here. They kind of read the markets pretty easily. It's their job, but. The Invisible Man was number 2 at 15.3 million. That's getting great reviews. Actually, the box office is pretty positive in the top 10, except for the Impractical Jokers movie. But everything up in the top 10 is really well rated on Rotten Tomatoes. It's certified fresh, all of them actually, except for the Impractical Jokers movie. So, anyways, Invisible Man, The Way Back, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Call of the Wild are your top 5.
I heard The Way Back was pretty good. It's my boy Ben Affleck. Gotta give him a shout out.
Is this one of his movies, or is this just
he's just the actor. I think that movie's got a problem with marketing too, because apparently it is more of just a drama, basketball in it, than like a basketball movie. And a lot of people are going in thinking it's like a sports movie or something.
Well, the only time I've heard it like consistently advertised is on sports talk radio channels.
Right. So they make it sound like it's a sports movie, but really it's about a guy who's an alcoholic. So overcoming it.
I mean, also that's kind of what all sports movies are, except for like a few of them. There's not much sports in a lot of sports movies.
There's
my
movies
issue with a lot of sports movies, because you see the movie, you're like, oh, I like the sport, and then it's just like, oh my god, I have to deal with like Kevin Costner's romantic life this whole movie.
Yeah.
I think that there's movies that are sports movies that have drama and romance in them, but then there are romance movies and drama movies that have sports in them. This is that one.
Yeah. And it's got, Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm. It's my boy.
We like him now because he's said sorry, and he says he's going to be sober now, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know.
This is the movie about that.
I don't think I don't know.
It is, actually.
I'm not gonna get ranting about Ben Affleck at all, so it's fine. Let's say for the box office, opening is not much, so we're not gonna talk about it. It's garbage, hot garbage this week. Mulan's the end of the month. A Quiet Place 2 opens on the 20th, which I know I didn't give her. I think I gave that my 0, but I'd be willing to go see that, Corey. We gotta pick a time. So I want to go to I'm like itching to go to the movies, and I'm on spring break that week, so we'll figure that out. So,
speaking of Mulan, though, Tony tweeted out that side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
It's so funny. She's got the hat trick, though. She's a Disney princess. She was in Star Wars, and she's a Marvel superhero.
Yep.
For air quotes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, good point.
But what happened to her?
What do you mean what happened to her?
In Mandalorian.
You don't know?
Oh, we don't know. But,
I know.
Sorry, for those who I'm sorry, Ming-Na Wen is who we're talking about, for those who don't know. His name was mentioned.
I thought she died in Mandalorian.
She does, but what happened?
Well, probably.
Yeah, we don't know that whole sequence. We didn't know.
Some mystery. That's the biggest mystery for me of the whole first season.
She just rapped, didn't it?
Feet.
They just rapped too.
Whoever came and.
Ooh, we got a boot, guys. Yeah. We got a boot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just saw that. A little bit of news. Moving on the news here is like Mandalorian wrapped, I think, last week, but I just saw Winter Falcon and Winter Soldier
got delayed
now because they have to pause their shooting because they're in Prague, and Italy and the whole Europe area.
Italy is like a fucking hotbed for coronavirus. Like
that's in the middle there, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not gonna go to Europe. I wouldn't go to Europe anyways, but like, there's cheap flights out there right now, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is like everybody state of emergency got declared.
Going to Ireland in a few months.
Yeah. Now's the time to buy like tickets.
I don't give a
Plane
shit.
tickets, and they're giving stuff. I mean, the airlines are taking the hit right now for this. So,
like, if you want to go on a cruise, probably get some pretty cheap cruise tickets too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So.
Oh man.
Oh, it's bad out there. All right. Let's get into the actual news. So, I mentioned the Winter Soldier thing. That's going to delay the actual release of it. Obviously. They haven't given a timeline on when that's going to launch. They haven't even said it's officially delayed.
I also heard apparently they had like a virus storyline in there that
Did
they
they?
have to put. There was like a.
There's no reason to put it. They change it. I mean, it is what it
is. A theory.
So
too soon.
Let's lead this off with Disney news with Thor 4. I think we all mentioned
Love and Thunder.
I think we all mentioned this, how Guardians was going to be kind of looped into this.
Oh yeah.
Because he's Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's there, yeah.
But yeah, Vin Diesel kind of let that out of the bag. Not all of the Guardians will be there, but some of them Guardians will be in Thor 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure it's Rocket and it's Groot. I'm sure.
At the very least, because like them, you don't really need the actors to do the extensive stuff. Like I could totally see Chris Pratt like not wanting to like do that, even if his schedule allowed it. But B, just, they could write it as like, oh, he's going to find, he goes off with Gamora, and it's like, okay, cool, and like Drax or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's a good time to split up to try to, definitely.
I mean, they could still get Batista in there with them. I mean, he could be without Star-Lord, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see the three of them being in this movie without Star-Lord. Just because it's kind of.
He's got his own mission.
Yeah, Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy, really. I mean,
what about Mantis? She's a Guardian of the Galaxy too.
That's true.
And Nebula, right? Was she there at the end?
Yeah, but I don't think Nebula. I don't think Nebula's gonna be in this. I could see the storyline.
I don't think so.
Star-Lord.
Was there any Nebula alive by the end of that? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think
she kills herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think Star-Lord and Nebula.
But not literally.
Searching for.
Well, literally
Gamora.
she does, but it's weird.
And then you have, even like you said, Mantis could be in this. I mean, that could be. So Thor is going to be. I'm looking forward to this quite a bit. So it's going to be.
I mean, Christian Bale supposedly playing the villain. So.
Yeah. Do we think Adam Warlock?
No.
I mean, they teased him a while ago. Haven't done anything with him yet, but I don't know.
With this Guardians news,
He'd be a good Adam Warlock.
I heard whispers about it, and I'm like, that's interesting. Let me mention it on the podcast. What do you guys think?
I mean, it'd be more fitting for him to be in the Guardians movie, but.
No, but if you're going to make this your Guardians movie for now, like it's kind of, because I mean, the Marvel timeline now is like it's all spread out. It seems all spread out, because they're really giving us more Disney Plus.
I don't know. I hope they don't do too much though, because like we already know we're getting Jane Foster back. Right, and it's like,
yes, yeah.
Are we just gonna swoop her in real quick and then don't solve all these other storylines?
Do we believe Jane Foster is the star of this movie, like for real?
Well, she's gonna be one of the stars. There's gonna be three of them.
Yeah, but that's not real. There's always one.
That's not real.
There's always one that's really the star of these movies.
Well, I mean, who's gonna get the top billing? It's not gonna be her.
You don't think so?
Top billing? No. Chris Hemsworth better get top billing. It's his movie.
No, it's not. He's not Thor anymore.
He's a Thor.
Yeah. We'll see.
We have the opportunity to have two
It's like
Thors.
when you become president, you're never not the president.
We have time travel now, man. We have the opportunity of two Thors here. So.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I just hope they don't do too much. I could see Christian Bale playing some like human doctor character that falls into some magical powers or something like that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot going on in this movie to me.
Right, that's what I'm afraid of. I don't want there to be too much. But at the same time, like Taika
Waititi, or whatever his name is, yeah.
Did a great job with throwing a lot of stuff in to the Ragnarok movie, which it was a tough job pulling a Hulk storyline making a Thor one, but we made it work.
Yeah. All right. Next
Not
question. Flash question on the spot. Who thinks Avatar 2 beats Endgame?
No.
No way.
Raise your hand. I'm looking. No.
Go home, Avatar. You're drunk.
Yeah. Clearly, I mean, I understand the actor. What's it? Stephen Lang.
Mm.
Yeah, Stephen Lang, who said that he expects Avatar to reclaim that title. I just saw that article. I'm like, I just don't know. We've talked about this before. What kind of hype can be left for Avatar? You know, I mean, it's a property Disney actually is going to get behind now.
What new hyped technology is going to be tied to it, like the first one?
120 frames.
No.
Yes, it will.
Not
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yes, it will.
It's not going to be as big of a draw, is what I was going to say, if you let me finish.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Was it? Is it 60 frames or 120 frames? I can't remember.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever that
48 was The Hobbit, and that just looked weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they just did it with Gemini Man, didn't they? In the theaters.
Yeah, people don't like it.
Oh no, I mean it looks weird. I'm sure it does, but you get used to it over time. I'm not saying it's not going to happen anymore, but I think that, like, what else is out there? Like you guys said, it had a 3D thing in the first.
I think it could open under 100 million. Like this is like, if it does half of what the first one did, that would be a success, in my opinion.
I'm sure in Disney's opinion. I mean, they obviously don't have any skin in the game, even though they own it now. They're gonna have to put the marketing dollars, I guess, behind it, but that's about it.
Attractions at their theme parks.
That's true. So yeah. What else we got? We've got New Mutants. You remember like I don't know when
it got delayed and then
3 years
delayed
ago.
again.
Yeah, they were talking about reshoots, and they were going to do the movie was a mess. Well, the director came on and said that the reshoots never happened. And now, okay.
So has this been in the can for like 5 years or something?
Yes. So what happened is, they had planned reshoots, and then Disney decided to buy Fox, and those reshoots got put on hold indefinitely. Since the time that went by compared to when the movie was in hell and then the purchase, everything got put on pause. That was how many years ago? 4 or 5 years ago it's been in hell. So they decided at this point that they couldn't do reshoots because the actors, everybody's significantly older, and then the cost just wasn't worth it for Disney, and they're like, we're just going to release the movie. So now who here thinks this is going to be a good movie?
Good movie?
I just don't think it's going to be. I think this movie's going to be
I don't know what the
Fox recognized that this
idea
movie
behind the reshoots were.
Fox recognized this movie needed reshoots because it was.
Every movie gets reshoots though, and who knows what they were trying to do for reshoots? Like maybe they had this whole storyline where they're trying to lead into something else, and
occasionally reshoots just butcher everything like Justice League. So
the idea was that when you got the first trailer portrayed this as more of a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Fox liked the reaction for that and wanted to do reshoots.
Right.
Which means it's not really a horror movie and it was not cut properly. So just change your expectations is what I'm trying to tell you. So.
Well, whose expectations were like going off the roof? We were saying we were much higher.
Don't expect a horror movie. Yeah. That's all.
I did mention, I think, in our hype podcast or whatever, like I think it might not be bad. So it can't
say.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I haven't seen much of it, but like my girl Ilyana's in it, and I was like, like I'm gonna have to see it just because of her now. Like,
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not gonna see. This is one of the things I have to watch because it's been in development hell for so long that I have to watch it.
So when does it come out?
April.
Oh,
first week of April, something like that.
April 8th, I think, or April.
I feel like it was this first week, but I don't.
Should be April 1st. I think that would be a good time for this movie to come out.
April.
But
it got PG-13 rating.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of what they were aiming for. Clearly, I don't have to say on this.
Unless they had the reshoots to make it R.
I don't know. I don't know when this is actually. Why do they have like when it released? April 3rd. Thank you. There it is.
Close.
So yeah. All right. The Last of Us is getting a TV show for HBO. We mentioned last week about maybe this. I said this last time. I said this last week. Maybe it's time, guys. Maybe we've turned the corner. Maybe it's like let's make these games finally good. into shows and movies.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it a little bit because the Borderlands movie, we learned the director and he wanted to kill people in the movie that are cosplayers, and Randy Pitchford came out and said, hey, we're in a time when video game movies could be good, and the same guy who wrote that is writing the Last of Us show.
Yeah, and that's what I like about this. I think he's very interested in the content, and he's working with Neil Druckmann.
Yeah.
Directly.
As creative director on The Last of Us and writer. So
and
the thing that I'm a little
Mazen or Mazen, what's his last name? Mazen. I don't know how to say it.
I say Mazen.
Okay, Mazen.
Mark.
He's responsible for Chernobyl, which was supposed to be excellent. So he's got very good. He won
an Emmy for that.
Yeah, very good.
He also wrote some of the Hangover movies.
Yes, so. Very good credentials. I mean, the Hangover is the first Hangover movie, I guess, but
I don't know which ones he actually wrote.
Yeah, I don't know which one he did either.
There's like a wide range, but thing is with this is it's weird that they're saying they're gonna retell this first video game, right?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of time between the opening of the game and when we start playing again that we don't see, and there's also the prequel game DLC that we got with Ellie as a kid. So there's like a lot of material there that you could explore that we haven't explored before. But the problem is, again, we all know how that ends, and we're all expecting it to end the same way. So how are you going to capture the magic of what the game gave you as a player in a television show, where you don't have that control?
Where it also doesn't just fall into the Walking Dead category.
Well, that's one of the issues. I don't know how a series, like The Last of Us, would not be The Walking Dead.
It's not like zombies. That's the thing.
It's exactly like zombies.
Sure, except the clickers are fast.
Well, I mean, you could make zombies fast too, but it's whatever.
But
it is zombies. In the end, it's zombies, and yes, it's a post-apocalyptic world that we're living in. So it's got to be about the people, which is what the Walking.
Who's trying to protect his young protege in this world where the humans are the real monsters.
Right. Who are the Walking Dead for real?
But I don't know. And the other thing is, one of our issues with the sequel existing is it's like they told this like sort of perfect contained story in the game, the original game, and we don't want overexposure of that world or all the answers to it the way it ended. And this is even if it's retelling and it stops at the same point, which I don't think it will. I think they'll either go a little farther or stop shorter. I don't know, but it just seems like more overexposure of a story that was better left alone to me.
It probably. I mean, we're getting this news now, and that's immediately where you go to as a reaction to it. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be good. I'm just saying, like, it could be done properly. I mean, it's a great story.
I'm also curious how one-to-one they're going to be with the retelling here. Because the game, again, is a very cinematic game. I don't know why it needs to be told again with a purely visual medium.
Well, that's why I think that, like I was just mentioning Lock and Key, like they changed so much from the original material.
I think that's
to
the
make
idea.
It work television. It's like you kind of have to do that here, and like that's what I would want. I would want, like what HBO did with, the Watchmen. So you take what that made that good, and then make it different, but kind of have the same ideas of what what made it special.
You see, I would almost argue that now it's worse to try to do video game adaptations because video games are more mainstream than they used to be, and they tell the stories just as well. But because back in the day, the idea of a retelling, which they didn't do ever for some reason, but when you had like a old video game, you wanted to adapt it to like the big screen, you'd be like, oh, you could fully see this world like with real people and stuff, and like you could tell the story, but they never adapted it like one for one ever and just made it like real and taken it to a bigger audience. Now, are you really getting to a bigger audience? Are you adapting anything that you couldn't do before?
I think you're getting to a bigger audience for sure. I mean, you just have to look at Witcher.
Yeah,
I mean, that
that's a good point.
exploded the series again to like new heights. Like it's ridiculous. Books are sold out like, at a lot of countries and stuff like that. They had to reprint that. That's pretty ridiculous.
I guess.
This
I
broadens
think
the
The Last
exposure.
of Us is more mainstream though than the first Witcher.
Yeah, but it's still a game that you like have to put effort in to play it or watch somebody else play it at that point. It's much longer than like it's more time investment that people not necessarily want.
Right. It's about IP management, and the thing like you look at stuff like Sonic or Pokemon, like that helps drive toy sales and stuff like that, and could provide like content for lulls in those franchises. Like Sonic Mania came out 2017.
Yeah.
Nothing since then, but they got the movie, so cool. That's fine, and stuff like that. So it's a cycle. But with Last of Us, to me, it's weird. Like, I think it's going to do well, obviously, as long as it's a good series, and HBO obviously know how to market the adult stuff. It just, like Mike was touching upon, like, if they're going to just retread it 1-to-1, I'm not going to watch it because I played the game.
I don't want them to retread it. I'm actually fine with them doing, like, the story in between after.
Is that what they're doing now? Is that what they said?
No, we don't know. Like right now, it sounds like to me like that they're going to be focusing on the storyline of the first game, which is what
they're also going to not want to step on the toes of the second game that's about to come out.
Sure.
Right.
Sure, but I think that like I would be fine learning about what happened with Joel in between. And we might get that. Like what
I would rather actually have like a prequel that showed Joel leading up to the first.
That's what I'm saying, and even Ellie as well.
Like Joel being an asshole. Like, okay,
sure.
like.
And the other interesting thing is like they use the Fireflies like logo, whatever symbol to tease it out. It's like there's a lot of stuff you could do with the Fireflies that we haven't really seen either.
That's true. That's true. Maybe it's nothing about.
Right. I hope it's new content because if it's a 1-to-1 or mostly 1-to-1.
Ellie and Joel are in it though, so it's like
we know that, but we don't know how much.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Maybe it's told from the Fireflies' point of view.
And that's I don't know. Again, personally, that's my problem because I even criticized The Last of Us in terms of like, that felt like one of the first games that was like really like, hey, like this could be a movie, but it's a video game right now and stuff like that. It's like, all right, like that's fair, that's cool and stuff like that. But like now it's like we're blurring lines. Like, so you wanted the franchise to be a video game, but like now you want a live action adaptation. Like, what are we gaining from this medium? Like, what? Yeah. Especially if you're just telling the same story.
It's interesting that you said that, Jim. Like maybe it's from the Firefly perspective because there was a guy I listened to somebody who was talking about it and he was saying how it would be cool to see it from like Firefly's perspective and seeing like how Joel is the bad guy in this whole thing and every time he just goes and fucks them up. It's like you're just trying to get things done and then this guy comes along and fucks everything up and it's like
it could be like
there we go,
like an unstoppable monster machine.
Exactly. Yep.
And we have a show.
Oh God, the bearded guy's here.
Maybe they could justify it better to.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm sure fans are going to be happy, and I'm sure it's going to be a good product. Just
I mean, the HBO makes quality content usually, so you can trust that.
As long as D&D are away from me.
Yes, I mean for the first half of it, it'll be fine.
The first 2 seasons are guaranteed to be successful.
Just like The Walking Dead.
But it's funny because, like, I actually think because of which we're going to see a lot more of this coming out. Like,
maybe.
I mean, that was just like for live action, but like Castlevania is doing well. Like Castlevania has more mind presence because the fucking TV series right now than the games. Because when was the last time a game came out, and stuff like that. And you look at the Sonic movie, Detective Pikachu. Both of those did $500 million or on their way to doing $500 million. I mean,
I do have to give Game of Thrones a lot of credit for making fantasy like acceptable in the mainstream, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Just like Walking Dead made zombies like super widely, stuff like that.
Good point.
So. Yeah.
All right. That's gonna wrap up 487 of the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button and the subscribe button. We appreciate it. Thank you. See you soon.